Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu cha Jamii. I'm your host Eunice Mugo. Today on the show we are asking, is sleep divorce the new intimacy? What is sleep divorce to start with? Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. I'm not alone. I have a guest with me who is going to help us to understand better why sleep divorce. What is it all about? I will allow her to introduce herself. Welcome, guest.
Thank you so much. My name is Faith Jogo. I'm a marriage counselor and relationship coach, and I'm also a business person. And I help people, and especially couples and women, reignite love so that they can have spicy, exciting, and fulfilling relationships and marriages.
Welcome to the show, Madam Faith.
Thank you.
It's always a privilege to have you on set. So today, sleep divorce, I mean, the first time I heard of it, I was like, wait, is that a thing? Let's start from there. What is sleep divorce, and is that a thing?
Well, that's a good question. Is that a thing? Yes, it is. Because a sleep divorce is an arrangement that couples have, all partners who are in a relationship can have to be sleeping in different beds, all in different rooms. And sleep divorce, sometimes people may think it's a negative thing to a relationship or a marriage, but to some people, it's a very normal thing that is happening, and that has been happening. Yeah.
Allow me to say this. Yeah? Or ask. Is it saying or ask? I might even ask na Kiswahili sasa ndio it makes sense. Hii ni ugonjwa ya matajiri. I mean, sorry for that, my people. But
okay.
Because I'm thinking, this one can only be practiced with someone who is having his or her own home, their own home, with multiple rooms. Because, bro, if you're staying in a one-bedroom house, na kitanda ni moja, if you're staying in bed-sitter, kitanda ndio kiti, there's no way we are going to sleep separately. So does that mean those who are highly practicing it are in the high end in terms of lifestyle and societal?
No, I cannot say that, or we cannot rule out that either. But if you think from Kitambo, our ancestors, our grandparents, most of them were polygamous. And if you start from there, from where we came from, and especially even today those who practice polygamy, you'll find that the man was having his own room. As in, they had several women, so each woman or every wife, they have their own room, and then the man has their own room. So if we start from that point, you'll see that we have been practicing sleep divorce. It's only that people didn't know what this is, you know?
But what you've said is interesting. It's polygamous. So by the end of the day, this man is not sleeping alone. He's sleeping with someone else. It's just that we are 5 wives, and then kila mtu ako na siku yake. So being today's day, the third wife day, the first and the others will stay separately. So you can only say sleep divorce to the woman and not to the man?
Even to the man.
How so?
Because you know, those men at that time, they didn't sleep with their women every day. Because during that time, the long time that we are talking about, before we come to where we are now, you can see they had so many beliefs that there are times when a woman is not supposed to be going to the man's room.
Yeah, when they're on their menstruals, but there is no way that all the 5 women will be on their menstrual. It's not even scientifically like logical.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. But remember, even when you get married in a polygamy or a polygamous marriage, your marriage is unique. We can be 5 of us with 1 man, but remember you're married alone. to this man. Okay? I'm married alone to this man. So when we are talking about sleep divorce in a polygamous marriage, it means me and my husband, we are not sleeping in the same room. Okay? All the time. We only sleep in the same room when we have planned for it. So it is an arrangement that has been made since the time we got into this relationship.
What happens to those who are in long distance relationship?
When it comes to long distance relationship, yes, they are also practicing sleep divorce, but in a different way. Because for them, it's because of situation. Yeah, but this one, the sleep divorce, is all about an arrangement. We have agreed that, you know what, as we start this marriage, or as we continue with this marriage, because of different reasons that we'll talk about here, you will be sleeping in your own bed, or on your own bed, in your own room, and we are good to go. When we wake up in the morning, we are like, wow, how have you been? How was your night, you know? Yeah.
It's interesting, come to think of it. You know, I think the first time come to think of it, I can't remember well, but I think I had gone to my grandparents' place, and in her room there were 2 beds. So I understand kuna bed ya shosho na aguka in the same room, but it didn't make sense. That time I was very young, so right now it's something that has just come to my mind. So in that age, in those era that we are talking about our grandparents, did they like intentionally sleep in this different beds? It also comes with age. Age, when I'm talking about age, is because I think at that time when I asked my mom or whoever I asked, I'm not so sure, aliniambia nijua mezeeka.
Okay, it doesn't come with age. To some people, it is with age. That is, age is number one reason. Yeah, but to those who make that decision very early, you know, in their marriage or in their relationship, as they start their relationships. You know, there are some people who decide, you know what, even if we love one another like, you know, the way we do, our sleeping schedules are different. Yeah, maybe because of our work. Or, you know yourself, you snooze a lot. Yeah.
So even snoring is a cause of it.
Yes.
You know, I was checking online and I could not believe just snoring, sleeping patterns. I'm an early bird, you're not an early bird. I'm a night owl, you're not a night owl. I mean, if I'm coming to sleep, you're already asleep. I'm not waking you up. So what has that got? Why does that have to bring us for us to sleep in separate beds or even rooms?
You know, a sleep divorce is not for everybody. It's for those who have made that decision. Because sleep divorce is an arrangement. It's something that you discuss.
So it's done deliberately for those who are doing it.
Deliberately, yes.
So another question as we continue with the deliberate part, and what happens to those who are doing sleep divorce? They don't know it's sleep divorce, but wanajikuta tu because of issues here and there. Like for instance, let me paint a picture. So I'm an night owl. My husband is not a night owl. He's an early person. So me, I'm left working on something. Him, he already went to sleep. Calls me, I'm like, I'm busy. You continue. At times we might change. Today is him working late. Tomorrow is me working late. So eventually, schedule yangu na yake, it doesn't work through, right? So I'm working, he's working, and sleep catch. Unajua sleep, ukisingizi ikikuja ina mwenyewe. You just sleep on the couch ama whatever room you are doing your studies from, because maybe you are not doing it from your bed. Asubuhi inafika, it's time to prepare and leave. So it happens to be like a trend. Would you say, some say it's deliberately, like you've been avoiding me the whole of this week. And the other person is like, no, I was really working. I'm not. It's vile tu usingizi imenikuta.
So if you think of it in that way, it means that you have not agreed. Yeah? Because you continued with your work. yeah, and your partner went to bed early. So by the time you're going to maybe to sleep, he's sleeping and, enjoying his sleep. Now you go start pulling the blanket, you open him, he feels bad. So if you have not agreed on sleep divorce, what it brings, if you do it unconsciously, because sometimes, like the way you have explained it, you have done it unconsciously. It's not something that you have planned. So it will bring resentment to the couples, because why are you staying, all night working? Yeah, your partner will be like, why? I need your time. I need you to be with me. But if you had agreed on sleep divorce, he will be very ready that my time has come, let me go and enjoy my sleep to an occasion. Yeah? But if you have not agreed, it will bring anger, it will bring resentment, and a lot of conflicts.
What happens too, tumeenda kulala vizuri, so we're sleeping at whatever time schedule that we do. We sleep early, maybe by 8:30, 9, 10, call it. But him or her is an early bird. There are those people, man, it fikas 3 or 4 in the morning. There is no sleep.
Yeah.
It's like, you even don't need an alarm. This person just wakes up. Definitely, if he wakes up, he'll start maybe with a phone, going through whatever he's going through. Ama grabs the laptop, continue working. But you are sleeping. And you find this person working. How does that even work? Does that count as a sleep divorce? Either working from the bed, ama walks out, leaves you sleeping, goes separately, either the same room in a study table, ama a different room now to work on his or her own things. Does that also count as sleep divorce?
No, that is not sleep divorce, because initially you are in the same bed.
So it counts as sleep divorce as long as you're not in the same bed.
Exactly.
What happens when you want to get intimate?
You arrange. You have arranged that this is our sleeping style, or whatever
It sounds
arrangement.
vibaya, especially when you think of it as at the intimate part. So let me ask you point blank. So if we have agreed on a sleep divorce, we are sleeping in separate rooms, separate beds, and we want to get intimate. Does that mean you're coming into my room or I'm coming into your room, have the intimacy period for whatever duration or minutes, count it, then after that, I go to my room, you remain in your room?
When you becoming intimate, you may find yourself maybe sleeping in that room, or in that bed till
The whole
morning.
night.
Or you may find that, okay, we are done with this business, and because we want, healthy sleep and, wewe rudi kwako, let me continue. It has been happening to so many couples. It's only that couples are in denial of what they do when they are alone. Couples do not want to come out and say, you know what, this is what we do, Faith. Yeah? But it has been happening because of the many reasons that couples give themselves.
It's so funny even when you're thinking about it.
Yeah, it is so funny and even so controversial, because for us as Christians, we don't believe in such things, because we believe we became one. When we got married, we became one. One body. We are one flesh. We are one, whatever. And when then we go to bed separately, it means that we are putting a gap, emotional gap. That is what we believe as Christians. But then there are people who are in it.
Is there any religion that is supporting it?
Let me talk about my religion.
No, not theoretically. Based on statistics, is there that you could say, without even mentioning names, that you'd say, yes, there is, that is supporting the sleep divorce?
I wanted to start with what I know.
Okay.
Yeah. When we were growing, for me, I saw my grandparent, my grandfather father had 3 wives. So it's something that I have done since I was a little girl. I have seen, since I was a little girl. But I didn't understand what it was.
Okay.
He had a very big mansion, yeah? And every woman had their own room, and his room was at the center. For you to go to his room, you had to pass the biggest dining table so that you can go to his room. All the other rooms were on one side. So I have seen that as I grew, as I was growing. Then, after that, when I believed as a Christian, you know, as we were being taught about how to stay as a Christian and all that, we believed that when you are in your menses, yeah, you are referred as unclean. Yeah, and so many cultures also believe that. You're referred as unclean. So you're not supposed, maybe, you know, because of our small houses, most of the time, we find ourselves pushing the bed to the wall. So when you're waking up, and the beliefs of many Africans is that the woman was supposed to sleep uko kwa wall, you will jump your partner as your, you know, and remember it's women who wake up early.
Sure.
Most of the time, not all, but most of the time. And so when you are doing that, it means that you're also making your partner unclean when you're having your menses. So we were taught that as a couple, if you know what you're doing and you want a healthy relationship, it's good. If you have space, you can have 2 beds. When you are in your menses, then you sleep in your own bed. When you have, you know, a baby, when you're nursing, yeah, you can also have your own bed. So there are so many reasons, as in positive reasons, because we also have a lot negative reasons. So we have so many reasons, positive reasons, that people believe in, and they have been practicing. And it's only that these, you know, this word, sleep divorce, is bringing confusion. It is something that people have been doing for the longest. It's only that they didn't understand that this is what we do. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm still in that state of mind of thinking that we've been doing this all along, but yet again, we even didn't know, and some people do it even subconsciously.
Yeah.
I want us to take a break, and when we come back to whereby those who do not understand it or have bought it in terms of agreeing to it, mostly, like you've just rightfully said, people are not coming out to say that they do practice it, you know? So when I come and hear Faith is practicing sleep divorce, I'll be like, you must have issues with your person, and not understanding this is something that you've talked and discussed and made agreed to.
Yeah.
In as much as you'll tell me you've talked and discussed, I'll be zealous, I like brush it off and say, there must be, actually it's associated with, like now the illustration of your grandpa having different wives. So I'll be like, he's having multiple women outside that you don't know.
Yeah.
Is that you're having multiple relationship, you don't want to build the emotional connection, you're detaching, you know, like you've mentioned in Christianity, it's like creating that gap.
Yeah.
That eventually there won't be your closeness.
Yeah.
I don't know even how to put it correctly with the correct words, you know. So when we come back, I want us to look at it from that perspective.
Okay.
Viewer, I hope you're learning as much as I am about sleep divorce. It's something new to me, but very interesting. I don't know if it is something that is encouraged. We'll learn more. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome to Fun. And the hyenas were there. They wanted to snatch the baby and tear that baby into pieces and eat.
Today, we're going to make a cactus in a pot. Hey, you, cold on. Are you biting your thumb at me?
I love my mommy. I love my mommy. Yes, I do.
Are you going to show love to your friend? Sure, you are going to do that.
Friends, until next time, bye!
Welcome to the 254 Trivia Game Show, where every second counts and the stakes are sky high.
Get ready for jaw-dropping challenges, mind-bending questions, and unbeatable fun.
Who will rise to the top and claim the ultimate prize?
Tune into GBS TV and let the games begin.
Don't miss out. This is the 254 Trivia Game Show.
Good luck.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are asking, is sleep divorce the new intimacy? What is it for you? What is your take? Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So Faith, before we went on a break, I told you when you come back, I want us to look at it from the perspective of, is it something that you can encourage? One. And two, now that tunai practice, you know, there's that picture that I'm not even able to paint it from my own perspective, that I want you to paint it more clearly to us.
Okay, first of all, I cannot say that I am encouraging sleep divorce because when it comes to marriages and relationship, it's a very personal thing. And when we are getting into relationships, there are some things that we sit and discuss. You know, after the lovey-dovey thing is over, you must know how to continue with this relationship. You know, and if you agree that we are going to do this because of your work schedules, or because now that you have a Caritro baby, or because we will be doing this every time of the month when you're in your menses, or because of your sleeping style, you know, because there are some people when they sleep, they'll put on their legs on you, their hands. So by the time you're waking up, you're very tired.
Cuddling.
Yeah,
It's called cuddling. Exactly. Putting your hands.
No, there is a difference. There is a difference between cuddling and when someone is, you know, sleeping and they're just putting their legs on you. It's different. So you may find that because of your sleeping styles, we agree, we love one another, yeah? And because we want to wake up, you know, with that vibe of love and intimacy. Can we do this, please, dear? And then you agree. If you do not agree, then that is not sleep divorce.
Will it not going to be misunderstood, like I asked before, with like this person is having multiple relationship, this relationship is, the partner is now starting to develop cold feet, because I feel like we might agree day one, day two, but eventually develop cold feet towards each other, and the emotional part inaenda tunaenda tukiendanga.
I understand what you want to mean, but you cannot develop cold feet if you have agreed, because during the day when you wake up, you will continue building the 4 levels of intimacy. If you're not building that, then you're doing nothing. Yeah, and because remember, it's not that when you are asleep, that is when you're so much connected emotionally. Some people will sleep while one is crying because of the conflict, but they're still in the same bed. Yeah, some people will sleep and even forget we were with you. You know, so it is not because of lack of intimacy that people practice sleep divorce. It's just an agreement, and it's not for everybody. So I
I like
not
the way you're
encourage-
insisting. It's not for everybody.
Yeah. So I
So-
don't encourage people. If you have not agreed on that, please don't practice it, because it will affect your relationship. It will start bringing conflicts. Yeah. So if you don't know about it, if you have not agreed on it, don't practice it.
Interesting. So, you've mentioned something that I want you to maybe highlight or touch on. You say, in as much as you're sleeping in separate rooms and separate beds and you're practicing the sleep divorce, you also have to practice the 4 levels of intimacy.
Yeah.
What are those 4 levels of intimacy that you're talking about?
You know, we usually say that intimacy is the oil that lubricates your vehicle, the relationship, you know, that you have. So without intimacy, and your relationship will not be good. It's like just a car. You know, when a car is the car engine is there and running, it doesn't have oil, it will definitely go faulty. Okay? So the same way goes to your relationship. If you're there, you have a relationship and you term it as good, but you're not intimate, then to some point it will start dying. So we have the 4 levels of intimacy. Level 1 is social intimacy. Social intimacy is whereby I am okay to go with you to the, you know, nightclub and dance, and I'm very comfortable. I can go with you to the golf club, you know, as we build that social intimacy. Then we have spiritual intimacy, whereby we pay allegiance to the same God or to the same whatever that we believe in. Yeah, and in this we have seen people who pay allegiance to different things. Yeah, the higher powers are different, and they live together. But if you can ask them, they have so many conflicts arising from that, because what you believe in is what is, I don't believe in it. So you will be telling me about what you believe in, and I'll be telling you about what I believe in, and we will be conflicting. So if you're in a relationship and you do not have spiritual intimacy, it brings conflict. Then we have emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy is whereby now you're working your relationship together. You're trying to connect emotionally. Remember, emotional intimacy or your emotional brain will always test whether we are attached. How do you test whether you are attached? Maybe sometimes we use beads. Like if we are in a relationship, yeah, or you and your partner, you want to test whether you are emotionally connected. You throw a bead. Your partner can just ask you, by the way, watoto wamechukuliwa shule? If you're not connected, remember, if you're not connected emotionally, you will not answer, or you'll become argumentative, or you'll ignore. So if at any one point you find that maybe you're talking to your partner and your partner is not responding, to you, it means that you are not connected emotionally. So there is no emotional intimacy. And then we have intelligent intimacy. That is where I can be able to know this is what my partner likes, and I'm able to align with what you likes, and my partner is also able to align with what I like. So the 4 levels of intimacy are very, very important. And remember, intimacy is so different with sex. Yeah,
Actually, I was heading there. I was waiting for you to finish and ask you. We always, most of people always confuse intimacy to be sexual related. And I'm listening to you for the 4 steps and I'm like, you've not mentioned sex. What are we talking about? Because mostly when you're saying I'm in an intimate relationship with so and so, it's concluded mostly they are sexually active with each other. So because when you're talking about relationship, more so as a relationship coach, you'll hear different people have different ways of looking at it. Some will say if in the dating phase, you are allowed to date as many people because you have not yet decided to one person. So I don't know if there is a difference between dating and courting, because I understand it's dating first before you decide, then you start courtship, then that leads to marriage. But now, when we are talking about now being intimate, now you separate and say, he's just my boyfriend, but we're not intimate. So meaning, we are not sexually active involved with this person. Tuko tu, sini my brother. So, okay, you were saying it's different. No, take us through the difference so that we understand it much better and you're also able to draw the clear line between the two.
First of all, dating, courtship is different. Because dating is when, remember you are in that period now, you are trying to get the best for you.
You're in that pool.
So as you're trying to get the best, you can find yourself giving dates to 5 people. You're dating them. You want to go out with so and so and check whether you can connect.
If you're compatible with each other.
If you're not compatible, then you date someone else until you get the right person for you. So when you get the right person for you, you leave all the others and then you start courtship.
I think hapo tunafaa kuongeza volume because wait. Let me just draw you back as we continue the conversation. Mostly when you're talking about dating, everyone concludes it's more like courtship. Because if I say I'm dating so and so and I'm dating so and so, actually the first time I heard that dating is not courtship, I knew there is a difference, but I didn't understand that dating is a pool of people that you're like trying to align yourself with and see if you're compatible with each other. But mostly the notion that we do have is that dating is isolating, like you're specifying this person, like now we are saying forgetting the others and concentrating with this. And then when you're listening to like-minded like you, the relationship coach, they're saying you're wasting your time investing in this one person in the name of dating and end up breaking that. That's why you hear people, we've been dating for 6 years. What? Like so how now do we continue with this?
No, when you date, don't date for long. Don't date for long. When you're during that dating period or that season that you're dating, you don't date for long because you might find yourself wasting a lot of time. So you date, you date for maybe up to 6 months.
Wait, we date up to 6 months.
Yeah.
Let me put you in a corner.
Maximum.
In these 6 months, am I seeing someone else? Or I'm just like concentrating with this specific person?
When you're dating, you can be seeing several. You know what is a date? A date.
You're encouraging cheating.
No. That's very different. Do you know what is a date? A date is where a gentleman comes and gives you a date. Can we go and have tea and see whether we are compatible?
So by the end of the day, we are not in a relationship. You're just going out.
Dating is not a relationship. When you start courtship,
that is when you're in a relationship.
Exactly.
Preach it on, sister.
So when you're dating, and it's good that people understand that dating, it's only that maybe we name dating even when we are in a serious relationships because we don't know the difference. But dating is very different. Dating is whereby I will go out with a person, a date, and we have tea, we have lunch, we discuss, even things that are not in or leading to relationships. We discuss business, You You can have a date with your workmate. Like you're going to discuss family things, you're going to discuss...
So meaning I can be in a
things.
relationship and still go out for dates?
No.
Bro, see, you said
you're-
dating is going out.
Exactly. Dating is going out, but remember, here we are talking when...
No, I'm
you
saying
had
I
asked
could be
me
in a relationship.
about the dating and the courtship.
Yes, I'm in a relationship.
Uh-huh.
Now we've already established we are moving forward.
Okay.
Right? So when we have already established that you're moving forward and you're planning for us to end up in marriage, am I allowed to date?
No, that is a no, because you have already established yourself that I want to be with this person. Yeah. So when you have decided that I want to be with this person, or now you're already engaged, then you don't, start diverting your mind to some other things.
So if you're going out for
concentrate-
dates, you're doing business dates.
Exactly.
Ah.
So you
Makes
concentrate now on the courtship so that you can move forward. But if you are in a dating season where you have not identified the right person for you, you can date as many as you want until you see someone who is compatible with you. Because there are many things that we look at. You may find that you've seen a very handsome man, but when he dates you, you find that this person, we cannot be
It's only the
compatible.
looks. The other things are not giving.
Exactly. So you leave that man, you date another one, until you get the right person for you. And when you get the right person for you, that's now what we call courtship. You get engaged. Now you start
I think we should have
plans.
a separate conversation in regarding to this.
Exactly.
Because the other question would be, how do you know this person? There's someone who will say, if you know, you know. That thing has never sunk, like typically sunk, that if you know, you know. There are those people that if you listen to their relationship, that journey, they just tell you, well, the moment I saw her, I just knew she's the one. The moment I saw him, I just knew he's the one. And you're like, I'm seated here and I'm like, does that mean I've never seen someone? And also another question that is coming in now, as I want us to go back to now to the sleep divorce. This one is just like giving us the basis. When you're now dating should be a topic of another day.
Yeah, sure.
But
it's very wide.
and very controversial.
Yeah.
So when you're like now you're dating, someone is asking, can you be in multiple relationship and date later? Like you're not defined in regards to people have different way of reasoning. So you two cannot go together unless they agree.
Yeah, sure.
So we have to agree that we are proceeding from dating to courtship, right? Yeah. So what happens if one person is knowing, like me, I've seen he's the one, and now I'm committing without his consent. And now for him, labda he has seen me and is like, oh, not the one, So in the back of my mind, I'm investing towards us and towards our future. But him is not there. So what do we do? Someone that, but because by the end of the day, this is where you find and you hear people saying, but I invested so much in you. You invested. I didn't ask you to invest, but you did eventually. That's on you. You invested either with your emotions, with your finances, with your time, and you're like, this person is not even appreciating. Because for him, he's not there, Amash is not there, but you're there, but you've not agreed. So my question now is coming there. Can you be in multiple relationships that are not defined? It's like in that pool of dating, you're just saying, but I'm in a relationship. You just don't want to define yourself as a single person, but at the same time,
once you get into a relationship that you have not defined, then that will just be wasting your time. That is what I can say. Because if you are in multiple relationships, I don't know what to call that. Because that is not dating. When you're dating, you're not in a relationship. Yeah.
Come again?
When you're dating,
You're not in a relationship.
you're not in a relationship.
So the moment you say you're in a relationship, you've defined it already.
Exactly.
Because it's a ship that
Yeah.
you're selling in.
Yeah.
So a question is, I've listened to different people, and like I said, people have different notion on the same.
Yeah.
So there is this thing we call validation. For us to agree, there's the validity part. You validated me to be your girlfriend, I validated you to be your boyfriend, or rather, to start now this relationship. Now we are boarding this ship
Yeah.
to sail somewhere,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
But now there's this notion that when you're listening to different people and they say, you don't need validation, there are those signs.
Yeah.
What happens if I misinterpret the sign? You could be very genuine, very gentle, very polite, and I'm like, now this is the kind of man. But that is your natural you. Like you do it to everyone, regarding, including your enemies. And here I am thinking, you're very sweet and kind to me because I've not experienced that. So to what point would you say you have to be validated and ask for the validation? Because I might be interested and Amziles are like, I really want to know so that I don't waste time and invest in my feelings and emotion on you. And again, you're not there. And listening to like-minded like you, the counselors, the relationship, because they say, don't look for validation. It's stooping low. So where does that put you more so as a lady? Because it mostly affects ladies compared to men. Because in the African natural setup, it's the man to say that is interested in you. Because if I go out as a woman and ask him out, and he'll be like, you, that's so against the current. So I want us first to take a break, and when we come back, you answer that. So is it important that we ask for validation? More so for women. And at what point should we ask for that validation? Okay. Viewer, I hope you're learning as much as I am. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be back shortly.
So through the four gospel books, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, John, we can know the heart of Jesus in depth.
그리고 우리가 소위 느끼는 그 예수님을 성경을 통해 느낄 수 있어서 너무 감사합니다.
And the Jesus that we can feel him through the scriptures, and I'm very thankful about that. Jesus Christ came to this earth for our
죄를
sins.
지셨고
He carried our sins,
십자가에 못 박혀 주고 죄의 형벌을 당하셨고
and he was crucified, and he received the punishment for sins,
무덤에 들어가셨다가
and he was put into the tomb
사흘 만에 부활하셨습니다.
and resurrected in 3 days.
이것이 우리가 말하는 복음입니다.
This is the gospel that we speak
예수님께 우리 죄를 위해 죽으신 이야기.
about how Jesus died for our sins. The purpose of Jesus being
우리
crucified,
죄를 담당하기 위하여 십자가에 못 박혀 죽으셨습니다.
he was crucified to pay for our
그래서
sins.
예수 십자가에 못 박혀 죽으심으로 우리 죄가 분명히 씻어졌는데
And through Jesus being crucified, clearly our sins have been washed clean.
참 안타깝게도 많은 사람은 여전히 죄인이라고 말합니다.
However, unfortunately, many people still say that they are sinners.
This program, Out of Despair, brings people out of a desperate situation. And once the Word of God comes in your life, you are able to live a very happy and a very beautiful spiritual life. The Bible says the church is a meeting of those who are truly born again. They are washed away from their sins. They are saints. In other words, this movement coming back to the Father is what we can call repentant. Don't think to say within yourselves, you have Abraham as your father, for God is able out of these stones to raise children unto Abraham. And so saints, people who are holy, who are made holy, they are a church. How about the rest? The rest who are not a church, then they can never be called a church. May God bless you. May God keep you. Thank you.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, viewer, to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are asking, is sleep divorce the new intimacy? Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So before we went on a break, Madam Faith, I had asked a question to do with validation. So how do we go about being validated in terms of relationship? Because personal field and also research and statistics, women are more affected because you're not validated.
To start with, I would say, if you are in a relationship, remember you're learning your partner every day. And when you're starting a relationship, you don't wait for validation first, because you need to look into the personalities of the person that you want to live, the rest of your life with. You need to look for the red flags. You need to see whether you're compatible. I can validate you and say, you are the person that I want to live with forever. But when you're looking at me, you're like, you have so many weaknesses. You have, we are not even compatible. We do not agree on anything. There are a lot of conflict. There are a lot of red flags. Even if you validate me, I need to think about my life in the future and ask myself, am I going to get into this? Because so many women have gotten themselves into that because of the validation.
A question. Let me interrupt you as you continue to expound on that. When I'm talking about validation, this is what I have in the back of my mind. We have already been dating. So I have already seen we are compatible. But remember, I had mentioned I could be seeing we are compatible from my own perspective. But you, on the other hand, you don't see me as compatible. Maybe the things that you're doing to me, you do it even to your enemies. It's natural you. It's not something special, and something that I'm judging you based on that. And I'm also might misjudge you by you being you and not seeing there. So we've been there talking, interacting, yes, but naona hapa tunaweza endana. So I'm still waiting for that validation for me to know we're in the same page, but you're not doing it. So I assume, this is where now you say, you don't assume you're in a relationship. Who told you I'm interested in you? And you're like, but you've been doing this. I do it even to my enemies. I do it to everyone. And then that is one part. And then there is the other part of, you're not doing this. So this shows me like you're not interested, you're not into me, but maybe that is your nature. Communication is not your thing. Talking is not your thing. Showing, and then that is your love language. And I'm here judging you and you're like, not my kind of person. But again, you're very intentional and you want something out of it. So how do you juggle in between there?
When you think that you are in a relationship with a person who has not given you a go-ahead, it's very dangerous. Because, some people will come into our lives and they just want to skuma maisha, tuenda tusonga-songeshe miaka, So even for these people who are starting a relationship, before you invest your emotions, your finances, your everything, you must be sure that this person, you've made a decision together that we are in this relationship and we are heading somewhere. Yeah, but don't just make a decision alone and say, oh, this person has been so good to me. I think this is the person. My friend, you will be so discouraged one time when this person wakes up and tells you, no, I have never told you that you are the person that I want to live with forever. So I get your point, by the way. It's very important that as we continue in relationship, and this is the early part of the relationship. Yeah, if you're already married, you're not part of the validation, you're already in it. Now what maybe you might be struggling with is the conflict and everything that is in that marriage, yeah, as you try to navigate to move forward. But if you are in the early stage of your marriage, then you need to ask your partner. And we do encourage, especially when you are in courtship, that courtship period, sit down with your partner, yeah, and agree on some issues. Are we, what is the vision of this relationship? What is our goals? Are we doing this for 1 year or 2 years? Or is it till death do we part? So that part is very, very important, you know, because if you have not agreed and on your side you're like, I know this is a person and now I'm going to put in everything and, you know, all what I can do to make it work, then it will bring pain, you know, when you wake up and realize this person was never there. It's only the, you know, the physical part that was there for me.
It's the ouch moment, the stories that you read on Facebook and you hear. And now she invited you to her wedding. And you've been together for 10 years. And he's marrying someone else.
Very possible, and it's happening because some of us, and especially ladies, we get into a relationship and we don't ask the right questions. So you've been there all along, and your partner, or whoever you call your partner, maybe he's assuming that you're just a good friend. You're just there. You have never
What question are you
asked.
supposed even to ask to start with? Because there are those questions that you ask and then the other person gets so defensive and it ends up being so confrontational and the misunderstanding starts from there. Even if it was a very minor misunderstanding, it blows out to be something very serious and end up ruining even the simple relationship that you had to start with.
No, when you know, marriage is not something that you get in today and then you get out of it tomorrow. So before you start your marriage, there are some things that you need to know. Is this person serious with you? Yeah, how will you know that? Is he introducing you to his people and the family? You know, is he introducing you to his life? Yeah, because everybody have their personal life. So if this person is serious with you, there are some things that you'll see, that this person is introducing me to his world. Yeah, and if he is not introducing you, maybe because of his personality, then there are some things that you need to ask. You need to ask, what is the goal of this relationship? Don't shy away, because when you shy away, then you will live with pain. Or you will go, and this person will see, this person cannot even ask hard questions. Do I really need someone just to be there? I need someone with sharp mind. I need someone who can think. By the way, those are the many things that are making most of us, ladies, be left. Because men want people who can think. Like, are you able to ask questions? Are you able to, you know, bring your idea on the table? If you cannot, and then your work, it's just sitting behind, then you will be left, even if you're beautiful, even if you're, you know, whatever that you are. So these questions, hard questions, are very important. If we are in this relationship, remember in the future we will have kids. Okay? That is a question that you need to ask yourself, so that you don't, you need to ask your partner, so that you don't get in a relationship with someone who do not want kids and you want kids. Okay? So that is a question that you need to ask when you're starting a relationship. In this relationship, as we go, you know, as we continue with it, will we have kids? And if we will have, how many? Okay, so that you see whether you are in the same boat. Then this relationship that we are starting and where we are going, yeah? Are we planning to you know, to have it as a contract, like the Wazungus, they do contract? Are we having a contract of 10 years to all 15 years and then we part? Or is it the what we believe in our African way, yeah, that it's till death, you know, that we part? Those are the questions.
There are contracts.
Yeah.
Do you have them in Kenya?
In Kenya, I can't, say of any that I know, but outside
I think
Kenya,
people are going in that direction because, some things are so funny when you hear them being said, and you're thinking, like right now I'm thinking to myself, does it really happen? Okay, I know in the Asian world, in the West, it's happening. But I think with the intermarriage, it's coming also to Africa, so to speak, because TikTok is saying, when you come talk to me, I just give you my bills, and we start negotiating it as a business. We are in this as a business. So we are here for 5 years. After 5 years, we part ways. If we want to renew the contract, we renew. That's all?
Yeah.
So what is at stake there?
When we go that way, when you follow that road, then it means that we will not be doing marriages as God intended, And what I have always said is that marriages are different to different peoples. And, people have their own goals and all that. So it all depends with the couple or with the people that are in marriage. Yeah. If you agree that this is a contract, we get children, we educate them. Once they are done with their education, then we part ways, and then that's a contract. But if we do it godly way, it is that you are my flesh, you are my bones, so we are one. We go, in this together. Till the end.
But I think as we wind up, the way you're saying that different relationship means differently to different people, by the end of the day, we are going to lose the meaning of it to start with. Because if it is a union or a constitution of marriage, you're coming in as a union. I don't know how to term it biblically, that it's like a ministry, or what do you call it? Is it a union, a ministry, or something?
It's an institution.
Yes, that you're coming to work on, right? So if you lose, because if it is different with different people, so by the end of the day, everyone is having his or her own constitution. They are having their own constitution based on what is suiting them, and losing the profound value or the intent of it to start with. What was marriage created for in the first place? Do you feel that we are losing the meaning as we progress on the evolving that is coming also with the technology, with new generation, with everything that is coming new? Do you think that we are losing the core value of it, that it was intended for in the first place?
Yeah, we are losing, and we lost. It is not the coming generation that will change marriages. Let me take you back a little bit.
I'm being told you are running out of time. So allow me to cut you short so that our viewer can tune in online, so that you can continue this conversation online. So maybe your last words for this as we continue with the conversation online.
Okay, it's okay. Then I think we finalize with the sleep divorce. For me, as a counselor, I do not advise sleep divorce, but if people have agreed on it, then nobody should fight about it, because relationship is all about emotional connection, it's all about agreement, it's all about your feelings. If you're sleeping in the same bed and you're not feeling good, then there is no need of that. So as much as I don't agree on the sleep divorce, if there are reasons that led you to sleep divorce, then nobody should be fighting about that. And also, remember there are some people who are practicing sleep divorce because of the disadvantages or the conflicts that come with the way we work our marriages. So if you're practicing sleep divorce because you had a conflict, and maybe someone started silent treatment, and now you cannot sleep in the same bed, that is not sleep divorce. That is something else. That is conflict that are, escalating and growing. So you need to check your relationship and marriages and make sure you are emotionally connected to have sweet and spicy and exciting relationship.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Viewer, I hope you've learned as much as I have about this conversation that you've been having. Is sleep, divorce, the new intimacy? Let's continue this conversation online across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Till next time, have a nice time. Goodbye.
Everywhere. GBS.